Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is Days of Thunder 2, the synthesizer deck that includes a gain and drain combo, and we've now added an instant win combination with a new spacecraft from Edge of Eternities. We are a little bit short on card draw, but our cards work so well together that we can outpower a good amount of opponents. We hit them high, and we hit them low. Let's get in there. We're playing the full set of 3 steps ahead, the very versatile Swiss Army knife of a synthesizer deck. We aim to use it to make a copy of one of our factories, and in this deck we also look to make a copy of Pactdoll Terror. The more Pactdolls we have, the more we can gain and drain. And the counterspell option is always useful when we need to stop an opponent's critical play. The card filtering option can help us find a factory or any card we might need. Wreckage Wickerfolk is a little artifact flyer that gives us a Surveil 2 when it enters, which can help us find lands early or critical cards later in the game. It's a good card to help us find our way out of a shuffler special. The synthesizer is our key card. The factory comes down for 3 mana, and after that we get a Robot Overlord, anytime an artifact with mana value 3 or more enters. The scry is a huge benefit as that can help us set up our following turns. The Helm is a fantastic partner to our factory outlet as it will generate a map token with every token that pops out on our side. Then we can pay 2 mana to make a token copy of an artifact token we control. Ideally, we use the ability to make additional token synthesizers after we already made one. The map tokens are excellent as they will serve to boost our Robot Overlords. Ghost Rider is here. He is a new addition that gives us a one-shot combo to knock the opponent out. He is an artifact, so he'll trigger any factory outlets we have on board, and when he hits the opponent, we get to draw a card at the cost of 1 life. When he gets hit, he deals that much damage to the opponent. Plus, he's indestructible, so he can get in there turn after turn. Pactdoll Terror is our main way to gain and drain. When it enters and when we have an artifact enter with it in play, we hit the drain the opponent for 1. It might sound slow, but it can snowball right out of control. Every map token, every Robot Overlord, all our other artifacts coming down will trigger the terror and gain us life and drain the opponent. It's so easy, even a caveman could pull it off. Memory Guardian is a 3/4 flyer that can cost us as low as just 1 blue mana, thanks to affinity for artifacts. The goal is to play it out for cheap when we have a board of synthesizers to get multiple Robot Overlords. And with flying, this guy is able to get in for hits more reliably than our ground pounders. Haunt the Network is a big drain card that we can use to finish off an opponent. It will give us a pair of 1/1 flying tokens that count towards the drain. With enough artifacts in play, this could easily end a game. Dawnsire, Sunstar Dreadnought, is a new card from Edge of Eternities. It's a spacecraft, so it will trigger any synthesizers we have in play. Like all spacecraft, we have to use the station ability to fully unlock the card's abilities. In this case, we need to station 10 power worth of creatures to unlock the ability to hit a creature for 100 damage when we attack. Note that we don't have to attack with the Dawnsire. We simply need to send one of our men at the opponent for the ability to trigger. Combine this with Ghost Rider, and we can hit the opponent for 100 before combat damages are dealt out. Is it possible for an opponent to survive such a hit? Yes, it is possible. Is it likely? Not at all. When we station 20 power worth of Robot Overlords, the Dawnsire turns into a 20-20-20 flying beatstick. And even if they have a blocker, we still have 100 damage to dish out. Damages, bro. Damages. Demonic Junker is another card with affinity for artifacts. When it enters play, we get to destroy a creature for each player. We could snipe one of our own men and add a pair of counters on the Junker, but in most cases that isn't worth the trouble. It's better just to take out an enemy than roll on in with our team. For lands, we're playing 4 Undercity Sewers, the Dimir Surveil land, 4 Gloomlake Verge, the island that becomes a duel when we have an island or swamp in play, 6 Swamps, 2 Susur Secundi, the Void Altar, the special land that lets us sacrifice men for card draw but only after we station 12 power worth of creatures, 2 Uthros, Titanic Godcore, the special land that we can tap to get a blue mana for each artifact we control after we station 12 power worth of creatures, and 6 islands. Playing the deck is rather straightforward. We play out a Wickerfolk early and use the Surveil to fix our draws. A factory early is great, as most of our deck is artifacts, so once we have one down, we can trigger it to generate Robot Overlords until the opponent explodes. Even if we don't find a synthesizer, a Pactdoll Terror can do plenty of damage to the opponent's life total. Making a token copy of the Terror and using the Helm to make even more copies can be as lethal as a team of Robot Overlords. A Junker can be used to snipe a threatening enemy, and making a token copy of the Junker can give us repeated removal. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Ms. Eel in the river. Don't snake me, bro. We're kicking things off with a Shuffler special. But we come prepared. We have a Wickerfolk, which will give us a Surveil 2 when we play it out. That could easily help us find another land. And on 3, we have a factory to play out for some scry action. Keep your pants on. They go with a nesting bot right out the gate. They might be on that popular sacrifice deck that got a boost with Edge of Eternities. We got a third land right away, so the Wickerfolk is going to set up our draws. It's good not having to stress out about getting a third land. We get a fourth land, but it's a Surveil land. We'll play it out. I would rather get the Pactdoll Terror down on schedule than get the Wickerfolk down now. On top, we have a Ghost Rider, and we'll have the mana to play him out. They hit us with a desert, then send in their bot for those amazing damages. It's time for our factory. It's also a good time to see if they have counters. It goes through just fine. On top, we have another factory outlet and a helm. We'll keep them both and in that order. Well, copycats do like to copy. They play out a factory outlet of their own. But do they offer free shipping? How about a warranty on all defective AI men? They kick us down to 16 life, so we'll play out the Terror. It'll help us recover life and give us our first Robot Overlord. We'll go ahead and station our men. By tapping both, we're saying we're not afraid of them. To play out a snare and snipe our factory outlet, we'll have to raise prices, bro. And they get their first Robot Overlord. We've fallen behind a little bit, but when we don't have a synthesizer, we work the Terror until the opponent explodes. Let's get our Wickerfolk in there. That will drop the cost of the Guardian down to 2 as well, and we can play it out too. On top, we have a land and a Haunt the Network. We'll take both, but let's draw the land first. We'll station the Terror and the Guardian. There's no way we'd block with the Terror anyways. They pull off one of our moves and use a 3 steps ahead to make a token synthesizer. That's double the factories for them. They pump their newest AI before sending in the first one. We want as many artifacts on board as possible, so we'll take the hit this time. We'll get down our second factory this turn. But let's make sure we tap the right lands. This will give us 5 artifacts, and that will be enough to let us play out the Dawnsire. Let's station the Terror, but we'll hold what we got. Let's not leave ourselves vulnerable to a removal or two. They fire off a voyage home and reload. The life gain doesn't really matter much. We can hit for more than the amount of life they can gain. They really want to send the bot? I didn't think so. Keep that one in your pants, bro. We'll play out the Helm. We can use it to copy one of our Robot Overlords. With them mostly tapped, I don't think they can do anything about our Dawnsire. Our Robot Overlords are pumped up enough that we need to station only 2 of them, and Dawnsire turns into a creature. That's a 20/20 flyer going in hot. Damages, bro, damages. Also, GG's extra cheese. This is awesome, guy. 1000. It's 2025, not the year 1000, bro. We get a Shuffler special with double Dawnsire, a Ghost Rider, a Wickerfolk, and a Guardian. The Wickerfolk gives us that chance to get more lands. Keep your pants on. Bro had to mull. Maybe we should have 2. This is definitely the sacrifice deck. Nobody else plays that guy. On top, we have a 3rd land and a 3 steps ahead. That will be fine. We'll keep both and in that order. By the time we play out the factory, we'll get a look at a pair of fresh cards. They play out another sacrificial lamb. They rely on these tiny men a little bit too much. We'll hold what we got. There's no way we can keep pace with them damage-wise this early in the game. Ask me again later. There's the darling of their deck. They are useless without Sephiroth. It's time for our factory outlet. On top, we have double swamp and we'll keep them both. That will give us the mana we need to play everything out. They go with a Vengeful Witch. She's a witch, all right. It will double the pain for them at no additional charge. They send it, but we're not blocking. The game is still young. I think a surprise factory should be our play here. Let's pass the turn and hit them where it hurts the most. They send it without a moment's hesitation. That's fine. It signals it's time for the surprise synthesizer. Say hello to my little friend. On top, we have a Verge under the swamp. Let's ship the swamp and hold on to the Verge. Oopsie poopsie, bro. We're gonna smell your main man later. They follow up with a Sir Vondam, but he's small potatoes. Their main guy is Gonzo. No, wait, never mind. They had another one. We'll go for a double spell turn. Let's get Ghost Rider down, and then we can play out the Guardian too. The Robot Overlords we generate now we will be able to use to station the Dawnsire. Let's send them a Robot Overlord and see how they like that. They fire off a removal, but they hit a Robot Overlord instead of taking out Ghost Rider. Oopsie poopsie, bro. They have no idea what's coming. They fire off a Raise the Past. Revive means nothing if they can't send it, and they can't. It's time for the Dawnsire to come in and close this game out. We'll station a pair of Robot Overlords, and that will be enough to activate our spacecraft. Then we'll get in for hits, but before any damages happen, the Dawnsire's ability will fire off. That's gonna be GG's, extra cheese. This is Dat Boi Calvin. He's a bat boy, very bat. We are on the Shuffler Special Pain Train. The Wickerfolk, at least, is here to help us out. Keep. We draw a third land, which is a great help. We'll go with our Wickerfolk. On top, we have a pair of Surveil lands. We'll keep one, but ship the other. We don't need to keep our folk up, since there's nothing to block, so we can station safely. They manifest Dread. Apparently, Dread is a 2/2 creature. We want to hit 4 mana on schedule, so we'll play out our Surveil land. On top, we have a 3 steps ahead. That's perfectly fine. We'll keep it. They keep manifesting Dread. 2/2 men are great if you can make several at a time. We'll play out the Terror. The plan is to make a token copy of it next time we untap. We'll station with the Terror. There's no way we're risking even blocking with it. They send the Dread they manifested. We'll go ahead and block one. They play out a Kiora, and they'll get to filter through their deck. I have to admit, I'm not totally sure what their plan is here. There is a lot of different ways they could go. We draw a factory, and we would play it out, but I think we'll hold up our 3 steps ahead and wait to see what they try to do. They go for the Land Prowler. It's a beefy 5/5, but they also get to mill themselves 4 cards. And that looks like some reanimation cards got tossed in the bin. Amazingly, they send it just to get their 8/8 token. I mean, it is huge, but it's not big enough to roll right over us. We'll block up and eat a pair of their men. I hope getting that 8/8 was worth all that. We'll play out our factory this turn, and we have enough left to play out a Guardian. On top, we have another 3 steps ahead and another land. We'll ship the land. There's a Zombify, and they're getting back an Odin. Sure, they can snipe one of our men, but we've got enough that we aren't concerned about losing one. Plus, we're at 27 life. It's time for the helm to come on down. We'll be able to use it to make copies of our token Terror. For now, though, we'll play out the second Guardian, then we can use a map token to see if we can beef up the first Guardian. We've gotten them down to 5, and with a boost we can get them in the air. That's another helm on top, and that's gonna do it. GG's, no cheese needed this time. Damages, bro, damages. This is ill repute 008. Ill, like he's sick, probably in the head. We get a double island shuffler special that feels rather sketchy, mole. Then we get a double swamp hand that's got a Wickerfolk to help us out early. Keep, I think it's probably best to ship one of our blue cards. The Guardian here is the victim. Sorry, buddy. They play out a Surveil land and have to really think about it. After some time, they do bin a card. Looking for lands, maybe? Our Wickerfolk shows us a land and a Ghost Rider on top. We'll keep both, and in that order. It looks like they're trying to decide on what to play out, but then pass the turn. Predictably, our Surveil land shows us our Ghost Rider on top. Yeah, we want him. It is possible they could have a removal, but using a card on the Wickerfolk is such a bad idea. Looks like they kept a Shuffler special, but we're not prepared to fight on. That's why we have Wickerfolk. GG's. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.